Welcome to the second video in this series, which is all about how to truly get started. This is the fun stuff. The first thing you gotta think about is your persona. Who do you want to be online? Do you want to be a dom? Do you want to be a slut? Do you just want to be a hot wife having some fun? Do you want to be a cuckoldress? I mean, there are so many options. I can't list them all in this video. Those are just a handful. If you're not sure, start your Twitter. Join some not safe for work communities, maybe follow some people that you admire. Take a look at who they follow, take a look at who they retweet, do some research to see who you align with, because you're not going to be like every other creator out there. You're going to be yourself. When I first started, I knew that I wanted to be a dom. I knew that I wanted to be sadistic, even though at the time I was not good at it. We'll get to that in a minute. I knew that I wanted to own the fact that I am a BBW. I'm not skinny, I am a big girl, and I wanted to talk about that. So my handle was BBW Goddess Sarah. That being said, do you want to be a dom? Do you want to be a sadistic dom, or a mommy dom, or a soft dom, or a bratty dom, or like there are so many options even in that one category that, again, I can't list them all. But just know that you don't have to be one specific type. You can even have a variety. You can say, I'm going to be sadistic, but if you don't like sadistic, I can be soft sometimes. It just depends on the sub. That's fine. I don't recommend doing that because you can kind of confuse people. Some subs really want their doms to be this and only this, and they might avoid you because of that, but that is your call. On top of that, with your persona, what kind of content do you want to put out there? Do you only want to put out teasing photos on your subscription pages and your social media and things like that? Do you want to sell clips? Do you want to just post short teasing 30-second clips? Do you want to post audios? Again, so many options here. All of that is going to help you figure out your persona. It might not help you figure out your name yet, but that's going to help. When I started adding a last name to my content, because that wasn't always there, I think it started in maybe 21. When I started adding a last name to my content, Sitwell just kind of rolled off the tongue. I don't know why, can't tell you where it came from. Frankly, I can't tell you where Sarah came from either, but it works because I do sit very well. Pick something that you want to be. Pick something that you're comfortable being known as. Hell, get a baby name book. Sounds weird, I know, because you're talking about porn and babies in the same sentence, but bear with me, because sometimes that's going to help you. You know, do you want your name to be Rose? Do you want your name to be Abigail? Do you want, I'm just throwing out names there. I don't know who you want to be online. Do you want to have a silly name? Do you want to have a name that's punny? Do you want to have a serious name? Again, I can't tell you who to be, but that's going to help you figure out your name. Come up with a couple, try them out, see what works. Once you've got your name picked out, check to see if the handles are available. Check to see if it's being used on any clip sites or subscription pages that you want to join. Because if it is, then you might want to change your course just a little bit, because you don't want to have to be similar to somebody else. You don't want to be confused with someone else, because if you start succeeding and you surpass them, you don't want other people to get you confused with them and not subscribe to you. Hope that makes sense. Now, before I continue, I do have referral links in the description below. I only request that you use them if you do join any of these sites, because I'm giving all this information away for free, and that just helps me out a little bit. I understand that sometimes promoting that feels like an MLM, so I will just say it's a request, it's not a requirement. If you don't use them, I'm not gonna know. I'm only gonna know if you do. And even if you do, I'm not gonna know that you came from these videos. Now let's talk about the kind of content you're making. If you're just doing pictures and maybe short videos or even just teaser clips, 30 seconds or something like that, you just need subscription pages. You don't need a full clip site. Loyal Fans is my personal favorite for that, because not only do they have some really great options in terms of paid messaging options, video calls, you can do lives with another creator, but they also have a video store and an audio store option. You can use them or you can leave them alone. It's totally up to you. I really enjoy Loyal Fans from a platform perspective. They are still fairly new, just a couple years old, so bear that in mind when you're joining, because the customer base is getting there, but it's not quite there yet. So you may struggle a little bit here and there depending on how well you market yourself. When it comes to clips, anything over 5 minutes, I recommend starting a clip site. My personal favorite is ManyVids. You may notice that ManyVids has a subscription option called MV Club. I don't recommend using it. It's not something that I've had success with when I've had success on other platforms like Loyal Fans, Fansly, etc. So I recommend just using it for the clip site option. Honestly, I don't think their lives are worth it either, but that is something that you can test out for yourself because, like I said in an earlier video, my success is my success. My failures are my failures. Just because I succeeded or failed in something does not mean you will do. But from a marketing perspective, I love ManyVids because people can search categories, they can search tags, they can search the type of performer, they can search the age of the performer, they can search the race of the performer, because if they got a preference, by all means. You can also upload your own preview and you can upload your own thumbnail. Very few other clip site platforms allow you to do that. I think Clips for Sale is the only other one that allows you to do both. Now, Loyal Fans, on the other hand, as a subscription page, they allow you to do both as well. So I like being given the option to upload both a preview that I have created and a thumbnail that I have created, rather than relying on the clip site or the subscription page to create either of those for me. The downside is that ManyVids takes 40% off of your clip sales. So price your content accordingly. Every clip site, every subscription page, they're all going to take a percentage off the top. Most minimum take 20%. So just keep that in mind when you're pricing everything, because if you price your subscription page at $10 a month, you're only going to make $6 or $8. It sucks. That's how it works. I'll go into some detail about all of these sites in a later video. We'll go over the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'll tell you which ones I absolutely hate and do not recommend. And trust me, I got opinions there. No matter what site you use, make sure you read the guidelines. There are going to be certain words, certain phrases, certain types of content that they do not want on their platforms. For example, forced is not a word you can use. Hypnosis, not a word you can use. Intox, not a word you can use on most platforms. So keep in mind that you are going to have restrictions. If you would like to use and make content like that, I would recommend doing something like creating a Dropbox folder and selling access to it, a monthly subscription or something like that. Now that would mean that you would have to pay attention to who subscribes, who opens, who, lets their monthly subscription run out, etc. But that's up to you. I'm not going to dictate how to do that because I don't do that because that's too much work, especially if you have more than a handful of subscribers. So you figured out your persona, you figured out your name, you figured out the type of content you want to make and the types of sites you want to join. Now what? Now you join the sites and you get age verified, because if you're not age verified, you can't post anything. And if you don't have an age verified link, most other creators are not going to follow you back on social media. They're not going to interact with you. I don't want anything to do with someone I can't prove is over the age of 18. Age verification can take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days. It depends on the site. It depends on how slammed they are at the time. All of them are going to require a photo of your ID, sometimes front and back. Most are going to require a picture of your face with your ID next to it, like you actually holding it, not just you photoshopping something in. Some will require you to hold your ID and a piece of paper that shows, your username, maybe the date, maybe the website, just kind of a variety of things. All of this is required. All adult sites are going to require you to age verify before you post anything. On top of that, when or if you collaborate with anybody, you're going to need to have model release forms. Some sites actually provide you with their own version. ManyVids has one, Pornhub has one, a bunch of them have them. You should also take photos of the front and back of the person's ID. You should take a photo of someone, honestly, you should take a photo of someone holding up at least the signature page of their model release form, as well as their ID next to their face. All of that is important to have. Not all sites are going to require every single one of those. I mean, obviously all of them are going to require release forms, but not all sites are going to require the photo with the person's face and things like that. Just have all of it just to be on the safe side. I highly recommend that. While you're waiting for the age verification, that is the time to set up your social media. I already talked about checking to see if the handles were available, but right now I'm talking about actually setting up your profiles, creating banners, which I use Canva for, putting up a profile picture. If you're going to show your face, make sure your picture is actually clear. It's good quality. It's not blurry. You don't have some weird ass filter. Leave the Snapchat filters alone. You do not want them in this. Write out your bio. I don't think you need to be super detailed. If you're a financial dom, say something witty and bratty and then just say, $25 initial tribute. When you're creating your social media profiles, also create something like Linktree or All My Links to house all of your links, both vanilla and spicy. Because if you don't, and you decide to put in your, let's say, loyal fans into your official link in your Twitter bio, for example, they are going to shadow ban you. It may not be immediate, but it's going to happen. You need to have something vanilla, like a Linktree or All My Links, in there that then leads to your not safe for work content, because that is going to keep you a little bit safer from a Twitter standpoint. Also, if you decide to join TikTok or Instagram or something like that, again, it's going to keep you from being whatever their version is of shadow banned. I also recommend keeping your profile and your banner the same or similar across platforms, because it's going to help people identify you a little bit easier. Now, at this point, even if you're still waiting on age verification, go ahead and add those spicy links to your Linktree or your All My Links. Have them there so that when the age verification comes through, you're already set, because a lot of times you'll get that email at a time you're not checking, and you want to already have it ready to go so that you're not missing out on potential customers or fans or subs, etc. Once you're age verified, you can typically add all of your social media links to your spicy platforms. You can link loyal fans, ManyVids, etc., so that it auto tweets every time you post a new clip, every time you create a new post of any kind. But that can backfire sometimes, because the more auto tweets you have, the more likely you are to get shadow banned. You have to make sure you're remaining consistent with your regular tweets, your regular content, your regular posts, so that you don't have a problem. These auto tweets are really great from a marketing standpoint, because every time you sell something, it shows, hey, look, I just sold a video. It's kind of like implying you should check it out. Without that, you're going to find it a little bit more difficult, because showing that you're popular is going to make other people want to buy your content. It's just kind of a cycle. I don't want you to get scared about that, because you can also schedule posts. Twitter's desktop version has the option to schedule tweets. I don't know how far out you can go, but I have not found a limit just yet. And I've gone out 3 months in advance, and I have scheduled probably 100 plus tweets at that point. There is no limit as far as I can tell. Most other platforms don't allow you to do that. So there is a site called Buffer, Buffer. It's not spelled weird like some of these platforms. I don't have a referral link. I don't pay for it. The free version allows you to connect up to 3 channels, meaning 3 social media accounts, for free. You can schedule up to 10 posts. I believe 10 posts in total for free. I don't know if it's 10 posts per channel, but it seems like it's 2 per channel per day. I have not used it that much, but I do like that it integrates Blue Sky, which not all platforms are able to do just yet. You can also do Instagram and TikTok and several others. So it's something that I recommend checking out. I believe it is $5 per channel per month on top of the 3 free ones if you pay annually, and if you pay monthly, it's $6 per channel per month. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, the number of posts you can schedule at a time does go up once you start paying. But I also want to add, all of the spicy sites allow you to schedule stuff too. So ManyVids has an actual feed. You can schedule posts just reminding people, hey, check out this vid. It's my best-selling video. You should check it out. Loyal fans, you can schedule posts that go out to followers and the public, not just subscribers, just to remind them, hey, this is what you're missing out on if you don't subscribe, and give them a little teaser. Use every scheduling tool that you can. I promise it's going to help you, because I find that even when I'm not super active on social media, I sell more when I have those posts scheduled, because people are seeing, oh, hey, that XYZ kink video is really good. I really like that teaser. I should check it out. And then they spend $40 and it's great. The next step I want to talk about is finding your community. Obviously, there are a variety of ways to do that. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's FetLife. There's just finding the community on each spicy site. It doesn't matter how you do it. The important thing is to research. I like Twitter and FetLife for a couple of reasons. One, Twitter is the best platform I found to convert likes, reposts, comments, followers to customers and sales and subs. I like FetLife for a few reasons. You can verify for free, but you do have to have a photo of your face, and it has to be visible to at least your friends on there. There is no only me option, at least for now. You can post videos, you can post photos, you can post writings, which are basically blog posts. You can create groups, you can join groups, you can write discussions in those groups, you can host events. There are so many things you can do on FetLife. You do have to be careful, because if you get into financial domination and you just want to join some domination related or partner finding or sub finding groups, some of those are going to strictly say no findoms because they hate people and because they're really just jealous of our ability to take money from people. Sorry, that's my personal opinion getting in the way of things. But just be careful about the groups that you join and what you have in your profile. Always read the rules before you join a group, basically, especially before you post a discussion of any kind. Going back to Twitter, there are plenty of different ways that you can engage with and find your community. The first is just to search keywords related to the content that you're going to be putting out there. For me, BBW, Findom, I don't know, variety of things. I'm sorry, I don't have a longer list. I'm going to search individual keywords. I'm going to search phrases. And then I'm also going to search phrases like promo thread, engagement group, and then other things that I've seen that are specific promo threads like Titty Tuesday, Ass Wednesday, things like that. Those are going to be threads that you see sometimes from big creator accounts, other times from promotional accounts, where they ask you to like and retweet and be following them, but then you can add your content as a comment and they will typically retweet that comment. That's one way to get out there, because there are plenty of customers that follow multiple, for example, multiple BBWs. Okay, well, if I post a promo thread for Titty Tuesday and then I retweet a bunch of other BBWs and a bunch of non-BBWs who comment, the customers that see my content are also going to see their content, and it helps engagement. That kind of thing is not a zero-sum game. I just want to be clear. I'm going to talk later about how to promote yourself as a findom on Twitter, but in this case, it's okay to retweet and repost other people's content on your feed. I do recommend trying to keep your content at the top, especially with a pinned post, and to try not to retweet more than 10 to 15 at a time. But I don't think that this kind of engagement is problematic. Some people do, I don't. If you search engagement group and you find one that is must retweet, must like, must comment, must follow back, that's fine. Do that. Some people have a problem with that. They say it's fake engagement. I don't. I think it helps you look popular. And while you're still growing your account, you're growing your content, you're growing your channel, I think it's perfectly fine, because you're not buying these subscribers, you're not buying these followers, you're not buying these likes. You're engaging with the community. That is my opinion. Everybody has a different one. When it comes to DOMs on social media, I recommend that you keep your feed clean. The more you retweet other DOMs, the higher the chances are that a sub is going to go and serve them instead of you. Keep your feed clean. That kind of customer is a zero-sum game, because subs should only be serving one DOM at a time. So please keep that in mind. And I can talk about that in more detail in a later video when I talk about marketing yourself as a DOM, but I just want to make that point now. I know that was a lot of information. Process that, take notes, go through it step by step and figure out what's going to work for you and what doesn't. As you progress, I would love to learn what from this video and my other videos did or did not work for you, because again, this is all from my experience. This is all from my successes and my failures. I want to help you, but I know that I am in a different category than many of you watching these videos, so I'd love to know what does and doesn't work for you. Hope to see you in the next video.